Okay, perfect. So let me just tell you that obviously what we're about to do right now is just going to give you all the information necessary for you to make the best decision for you and your family. Okay, so definitely this is the right place to come for you to be able to get a good grasp of what it means to go solar.
Okay.
So I'm going to go ahead and get started. Our company has been around for over 5 years now. We started out as a electricians. So that's why it was easy for us to make the transition to solar, because enable for us to acquire solar permits in any city, we require to have an electrical license, and we have
Yep.
Now, we've done already over 1,000 installations in the state of Florida. We have a lot of tangible experience in what it is, the solar installation.
Okay.
Another thing that the customer needs to know is that we have required by the state a $2 million liability insurance. So if anything happens to any of our guys or any of your property while we're doing an installation, you're covered.
Okay.
Okay. Now, us as the contractor, we bring you, our partners. So we partner with financing companies, obviously some solar companies and inverters. And we're the ones who bring the whole enchilada together, right? So we bring you everything, and obviously the installation.
Yes. Now, your installation, is it done by your workers or do you subcontract?
No, our workers.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, we install in every kind of roof: shingle roof, metal roof, flat roof, anything.
Okay.
And obviously, each kind of roof has its own type of mounting system, and the mounting system require a certain way of installing from the cities that we work on. So everything's approved by the cities, all the materials that we use, because we have to pass inspections. So we have to use everything that is coded by them for us to get approved for and pass the inspections.
Understood. How about your hurricane rating?
All right, I'll get to that in a little bit. That's part of the presentation here. Now, one of the reasons why you've seen solar more now is because in the year 2016 there was 2 amendments, and those amendments allowed the solar industry to come into the Florida market. Now, there's other states like Arizona, California, Hawaii, and even New Jersey. New Jersey is so advanced in solar, it's not even funny. And that's New Jersey. So we should have been in the solar many years ago, but the big companies, they didn't really want us. They didn't want the industry to come in. So it was a hard-fought battle, but we were able to prevail in the year 2016, and that's why you've seen more solar as the year continue going, you're gonna see more and more.
Yeah.
Now, so how does solar work? Obviously, the sun comes out every day. Now, what happens? The panels are going to generate what is called DC electricity from the sun rays.
Yep.
Now, that DC electricity needs to be converted into AC electricity, which is the one that we use at home, to turn on all of our appliances. Now, during the day, you're going to generate more energy than what you need. So that excess energy, because you have to remember one thing, the solar panels, this is a very misconception. Solar panels are not energy storage systems.
Yes.
They are energy production systems.
Yes.
So what happens? The excess energy, this is going to be what is called a grid tied system. So you're going to be tied to the grid. So the excess energy is going to be fed back into the grid, and through a meter, a meter very similar to the one that you have right now, it's going to read how much energy you're giving to FPNL.
Okay.
Now, FPNL is not going to store it in They don't have any storage systems either. So what do you think they're going to do with that excess energy?
They'll be able to use it.
They're going to use it. They're going to give it to your neighbors.
Yep.
All right. So they're going to use that to your neighbors, and they're going to have some of the power that you generated from your own panels. Or what happens at nighttime, there's no sun. So that excess energy that you gave back to FPNL, they'll give it back to you at no charge. It's a one-in-one exchange. It's one of the laws. Okay, if you generate 5 kilowatts, they will have to give you back 5 kilowatts.
Oh,
Now,
wonderful. So let me just stop you there. And
sure.
in other systems, there used to be the investment of having a large battery somewhere to help store it. But what you're saying here is all of the excess energy that your home produces will be fed to FPNL, and currently by law they have to go ahead and they can allocate that energy back to you at no additional cost or at the same amount that they credit.
All right.
Is that understanding it right?
Yes, that's right. The only thing that you're going to be seeing from them as far as a bill is for the meter, because this meter, which is a bi-directional meter, it reads not only what you consume but also what you produce.
Got it. Okay.
So the meter that you have currently right now is only reading what you are consuming.
Yes.
Okay, so that's the way it works. At the end of the month, if by any chance and you're never going to be out of energy. Let's say by any chance you generated less energy, it's not like FPNL is going to say, oh no, I'm sorry, I'm not going to give you more because you didn't know. They're going to give you that energy. The only thing is that they're going to charge you for that little bit of excess energy that you, at the end of the month, that you consume extra.
Yeah.
But the opposite can be the same as well. If you generating more energy than what you consumed, so what happens there at that point, it's going to be stored as credits.
Okay, so in effect, your house is becoming part of the energy generating system, and you're tied into FPL.
Yes.
Understood.
That's right.
Okay.
Okay. Now, if by any chance there's a hurricane or any sort of power outage, what's going to happen is, since you're tied to the grid and one of these fell out, you're not going to have energy, even during the day. Why? Because the solar system has a safety mechanism that they can't be producing energy back to the grid if there's a power outage because of somebody can get electrocuted.
That's right.
So what happens? You're not going to have any light at your house either if you don't have, unless you have a battery backup where you're storing that energy into that battery. Now that comes at a higher cost, and that's an additional investment.
Yes.
It's an option, but it is an additional investment. All right, so let's go ahead and continue. All right, so this is the net metering. You can go to FPNL and put net metering, and you're going to see a graphic like this where they're explaining to you how the photovoltaic system installed in your house will work, which is exactly what I just told you right now. And you are going to enter into what is called an interconnection agreement with FPNL, when we pass inspections and everything, then we help you submit an application to FPNL. We upload all the city's approval of the solar system to FPNL, and then they will come and send somebody to your house to exchange your meter.
Okay. Makes sense.
Yeah. All right. So our goal, pretty soon we're going to go into your account and we're going to see a chart very similar to this one, which is going to tell us your average in how much you're paying monthly and how much kilowatts you're consuming average monthly. Okay. Our goal is to move you from a consumer to a producer, because once you become a producer of the energy, now you're giving energy back to the grid. You're going to see some gray bars on the bottom.
Yep.
All right. So now FPNL, they currently have a plan to put 30 million panels by the year 2030. Okay. So,
and this is FPL's plan.
Yes. And not only that, but they've been using, you have been paying. First, they had a 2016 when they lost the battle and they knew that they probably had a feeling that they were going to lose it. They already had a plan in place that they were going to go solar themselves. But for the past 4 years, there's been an increase all over the state so that they can do this project. And now, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and give me 1 second. I'm gonna stop this share right here because I'm gonna go to another page here.
Okay.
Can you see this?
Yes.
Okay, so this is a new article from the Sun Sentinel, and they're saying FPNL is going to raise your rates again because they did it first from 2016 to 2020. Gradually, they did it. They even had a website where you can go and they would ask you to input your kilowatt consumption so that they can tell you exactly how much they were going to increase, right?
Yes.
So now they're going to do it again so right here, Florida Power and Light consumers can expect rates to climb over the next several years. The company announces it will see authorization to collect $2 billion in additional revenue from the year 2022 to the year 2025 to cover its program of solar expansion, solar hardening, and improvements. Okay, so
that's solar. That's the green energy move and the expansion into the solar. Understood. Makes sense.
Yeah. So they're actually charging you so that they can go solar.
Yep.
Okay, and they're gonna. I have another web page where they're actually. It's actually right here. Look, this is directly from FPNL, where they have to give you all that information and expose everything that they're doing with your money. Okay, so you can read that yourself on your own time.
Okay.
But so yeah, let me go ahead and go back to the other page. See where I'm at. Share and let's come here. All right, so that's FPNL's plan.
Yep.
And just to let you know that you're going solar no matter what. The only difference is going to be whether it's their solar panels or yours.
Yes.
All right, so now if we look in the past 20 years, we're going to see that there's been an energy increase of 4%.
Mm-hmm.
In the past 10 years, it's been low. But if we look at the whole 20 years, there's a 4% increment, okay,
yep,
of energy increase. Now, we install different types of panels, okay, and there's a lot of type of panels out there, and I'm going to talk to you about 3 of them, okay. Now, all of these 3 panels, they can sustain winds of 185 miles per hour. It's category 5. It's going to be attached to your roof. So if your roof goes, then your solar panels goes.
Yes.
There's no way around that.
185, you can do a lot. You're lucky if your house is still there.
Say that again?
At 185, you're lucky if your house is still there.
Exactly. So it's going to go with the roof and everything. Okay. So it's been proven and everything. And all these panels, they go through a certain amount of testing, and if you go to any other websites, they'll show you in detail how everything gets done, and it's really cool to see.
Okay.
So, all right. So let me talk to you about LG. LG is a brand that you already know. You probably own anything that has been LG or have in the past. So it's very comforting to know that LG, not only that, but they make a great product as well. It also comes at a high price. They guarantee you that the panels in parts, performance, and labor, a 25-year warranty in parts, performance, and labor.
Wow.
Now, they guarantee you that even 25 years from now, the panel is going to be producing at a 90% capacity.
Wow.
Yeah, so LG is awesome. It's an awesome panel. Now, Jinko, go ahead.
You get what you pay for.
Exactly. Now, Jinko, it's another great panel. They guarantee you after 25 years also not 90 but an 80% capacity production. Now, Jinko is the go-to panel that FPNL chose for all of their solar farms all over Florida.
Okay.
Okay, so Jinko is the one that they chose. They have even though they're a Chinese company, but they have a factory in Jacksonville, Florida.
Okay.
Okay, so right in our backyard, I mean, they had a pretty big contract with FPNL, so it was only a matter of time until they opened up a factory here. Now, the other company that we also use and we like is Mission Solar. They're from San Antonio, Texas, and
Okay.
they also have a 25-year warranty, and this one is a linear production of 85%. Because they're all great panel. Honestly, in my opinion, it doesn't matter if it's from 90 to 80. It's not going to be a big difference.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, you know, me personally, I go with Jinko's because it's cheaper as far as the payments, but the production is the same. And that 10%, honestly, is not gonna. And I'm not, you know, me personally, I'm not gonna pay for the name. So I already seen how all these panels work. They all work just exactly the same.
Okay.
Okay, so that's my personal opinion.
Okay.
Now let's talk about inverters. It's a very important part of the installation, and there's two types of inverters. There's the micro inverters, which is this one here, and there's the centralized inverter, which is this one here. This is more of a bigger box that goes on the side of the house. The micro inverters are smaller, like the size of an iPad, and they go in the back of each of the panels.
Okay.
So this is what converts the energy from DC to AC.
All right.
On these ones, I also have my own opinions because of my personal experience and because of all my customers. Okay, so what happens? I prefer, even though they are so with the solar panels, there's no, I've never seen a difference. That's why I rather go with the cheaper ones with the Jinkos because they produce the same. Now with the micro inverters and phase, they're a little more expensive, but I do see a difference. And I would recommend microinverters, and I'll tell you why. I've had many customers that had gotten Solar Edge, and I mean, this only happens a few times, but it's happened more than enough time for me to say, you know what, I don't even want it to happen once.
Yeah.
So what happens is that, let's say a customer of mine has had his solar for like 8 months, and then all of a sudden, you know, they've been paying between $9 to $12 every single month with FPNL. They have their FPNL on auto pay. You know, they've already gone through the honeymoon stage where they were so excited at the beginning to see their bill so low. And, you know, after 3 months or so, you know, hey, everything's normal. Yeah, we got solar. So what happens? All of a sudden, they see that they've been getting charged $180, $230 on their FPNL bill, and they jump in. What is this? You know, and what happens is that their solar inverter stopped working. Now, what happens? Solar Edge will pay our company to go back to your house and give you a brand new and no charge to you. You don't pay for the installation. You don't pay for the swap. You don't pay for the inverter. So, but you know what you end up paying for those 2 or 3 months of bill that you got from FPNL, because not only do you have to pay for FPNL those 2 months, but you also have to, because this has a monthly payment, so you pretty much pay twice. You pay for the product because you pay it on a monthly payments, plus you pay FPNL. So I seen that. I can tell you I probably seen it 4 or 5 times with Solar Edge. I've never seen that happen with micro inverters. So that's why I always tell my customer, you know what, don't risk it, just get the micro inverters. They're better. So that's my go-to inverter.
So the large one, the Solar Edge, is mounted outside next to on the side of your house, or probably the other meter. The micro is inside where your fuse box is.
No, it's in the back of each of the panels. So let's say if you get 20 panels, it's right behind each of the panels.
Each solar panel, but. So you would have multiple micro inverters, but you would have one Solar Edge inverter.
Correct.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah. Now, you will be able to monitor your system from either one, even if you get Enphase or if you go Solar Edge, you'll be able to monitor your system's production. Okay. Now, you might be, I mean, those customers, they didn't realize what was happening. But if you check your stuff, you might see that your inverter is not working, and you can pick it up real quick, but honestly, you want to have something that is going to be working and not have to worry about you having to check it every month.
Yeah, reliable.
Yeah. Right.
Okay.
So you'll be able to monitor this. Now, let's go ahead and understanding the process. So what happens is when you decide to go solar, we have to get you approved by one of our financing companies. Okay. There's no upfront cost. You don't pay nothing upfront. And that usually takes anywhere from 1 or 2. I mean, it doesn't take more than 2 hours. Once you decide to go, we do the application, you get approved, we send you a DocuSign, you sign it, we're good to go. And then you sign our contract too, you're good to go. Now, then after that takes a few hours. After that, we send somebody to your house, which takes, depending on how busy we are, we send somebody to your house between 1 or 4 days to do what is called a site survey.
Okay.
That's when we look at everything, every little detail that we're going to have to do, so that we can then send to the engineering department, and we can work on making your plans. Okay, and doing so that we can go ahead and submit that to the municipality, the city, and so that we can get your permits. Okay, so once we submit that, they take anywhere from 2 to 4 weeks, depending on how and which city. Some cities take longer than others.
Yes.
After that, after we get the permit saying that you're okay to install this, then we call you and we ask you when is a good day for installation. The installation in a house like yours will probably take anywhere from 1 to 2 days. In 1 day, we'll probably finish like 80 or 90% of the work. The next day is just to finish up the little details, and then we can call for inspections. Okay, now we call the inspections, and they will come and they inspect every single little angle of our solar system, the electrical, the building, everything. Okay, once we pass inspections, that takes between 1 or 2 days after we do the installation. Once we pass inspections, then we're going to send you an email. The financing company will send you an email so that you can say if you're happy with everything. Okay. Once this happens, go ahead.
Let me stop you there in the process. So once the installation happens, and whether the panels are installed in a tile roof or a flat roof, there's work that needs to be done. And imagine what's happening is there needs to be some level of drilling into or compromising the roof. What kind of guarantee and what kind of timeline do you guys have to cover all repairs and or damages that may occur from installation?
We give you a 25 years warranty on workmanship from our company. It's under.
So that would include if it were to go in my flat roof and 2 years in there's a leak. Yes. It would cover the roof, and it would include the ceiling and all repairs.
Yes, I mean, obviously we have to see. We will let you know if your roof, it's a roof that we want to marry or not.
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
But we're going to marry your roof for a long time, so we want to make sure that we're marrying somebody that it's approved. So that's why the site survey is important for us to do.
That's good. That's good to know. It's good to understand that. Okay.
Yeah. Now, up to this point, everything that we have, we spent a whole bunch of funds in everything, from materials to permitting and labor, and we haven't gotten paid. So once you say, okay, the city says that it's okay, we also need to say that you're okay, then they'll finally pay us. The financing company will finally pay us. And then after that, we will help you through the metering process, which takes about 2 days. We'll send you an invitation from FP&L so that you can fill out the information that you know of yourself. You have to put your social, because they're going to give you a W-9.
Okay.
They pay you money at the end of the year, so that's why they have to get some of your information. Now, after you put that information, then you have to invite our contractor, which is us, to fill out the other information, which is technical information as far as the kilowatt that we installed, the name of the panels, the models, the inverters, and all
Yes.
that stuff. Once we put all that information, then we send it back to you. You sign it, and then that finalizes your interconnection agreement with FPNL as far as the application goes. Then they will go ahead and send somebody to your house to swap the meter.
Okay.
Once the meter is swapped, then that's it. You're already producing.
You're on the grid.
Yeah, you're already good. You're good to go. And it takes about 1 to 2 months for you to start seeing the savings. And also it takes about 2 months for the financing company to start sending you your first bill.
Okay.
So you're not, most likely you're not going to have like an FPNL bill, a full FPNL bill, and a full bill from the financing company.
Yes.
It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So the transition is going to be very, very easy. It's not going to be something that is going to put you in a difficult financial situation. All right. So there's no upfront cost. You don't pay nothing. The payments are fixed.
Yep.
Low fixed monthly payment. It's like you're buying a car. Okay. There's no prepayment penalty if you want to pay it off earlier.
Okay. So what are generally for the standard home, for the standard single family, say 2-3 bedroom home? I know there's variables, but what are we talking about? Because obviously the financing, what do you do on a 20-year financing in order to offset?
Yeah. It's about 20 years, but you can choose a 15, 10 years, and even pay it off if you want. There's no prepayment penalty even before then.
Yeah. So then what is the range of cost in a typical South Florida home, say in a 2-3 bedroom, or two?
Yeah, no, it's you know what? It all varies because listen, all homes are different. The other day I went to a really small house and they had almost a $300 bill monthly average.
Yeah.
The day 2 days ago I went
No,
to
I'm wondering what the total
kilowatt consumption.
The total cost of the investment, not the offsetting 300 a month electric. What is it work? What does it usually work out to? What's the total investment in the panels?
The thing is that the total investment, it all depends on the kilowatt consumption because it depends on what size of a system we're going to install in your house. So depending on the size of the system that we install in your house, that's how much it's going to cost you to produce that energy, and that's what's going to be the investment. So, but we'll get to that real soon because we're already getting to the good part.
All right.
All right. So now, do you still pay taxes?
Yes.
Okay. So there's a 20% tax credit, which before Donald Trump left the office, he extended it for 2 more years.
Okay.
This was going to end in this year.
Yes, it was.
It was going to end, and it was going to go. I mean, it wasn't going to end. It was just going to go down to 22%.
Okay.
So there was an extension done, and now we still have the 26% till 2023.
Okay.
Now you're not adding a bill to your budget. Okay, you're just replacing. Okay?
Understood.
Your monthly payment that you're doing right now, it's just going to be very similar to what your monthly payment is going to be to FPNL.
Understood.
Now, there's 2 different types of financing. There's the conventional loan that you need at least a 650 FICO score in able to qualify. And then there's also the PACE program. Have you heard of the PACE program?
I have not. Which one usually carries the better interest rate?
We have a 2.99 interest rate with the conventional loan.
Okay.
So that one's, but if you don't qualify the PACE program, let's say your score is not that, your credit's not that good, then we can qualify you with a 3.99 with the PACE program. Go ahead.
I would qualify for the FICO.
Oh, okay. Perfect.
So that's 2.99, you said?
2.99, yes.
Okay. Understood.
Okay, so this is just the difference between the PACE funding, PACE financing, and conventional loan.
Okay.
All right. Now, let's say you pay, there's 2 customers, you and your neighbor. Okay, you're both paying an average of $180 a month with your FPNL.
Yep.
Now you decide to go solar. Well, you're gonna spend $180 still, but that's gonna be a fixed rate.
That's right.
Now your neighbor is going to continue. He decided, you know what, I'm a little skeptical about solar. I'm not sure, you know what, I'm not going to do it. So look, this is what, if we look at the past 20 years, we've seen a 4% increment. So let's just go ahead and do the same scenario 20 years from now and do the similar 4% increment.
Yeah, I get the optics.
They'll be paying.
I get the optics. I work in finance. This is very familiar.
Perfect. So this will be you. This will be them. And then after that, you have no payments.
Well, that assumes that your cost is offsets exactly. But I get the gist. Yep, I'm there.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it will. Yeah, sometimes it's even it could be even less than this if the customer decides to add the 26% tax credit, the full amount into the loan, because you get to keep the 26% tax credit if you want to. But if you decide to, you know what, I'm going to get this 26% tax credit, I'm going to put it back into the loan, then your bill is going to go from 180 probably to 145 or something.
Yep.
Okay, so, all right. So if you go to the IRS.GOV, you can put in the search the 5695, and it's going to talk to you about the 26% tax credit.
Okay.
The residential energy credit, it will give you all the information. It's a 26% on the total project cost. Even if the project, even if the project has an AC unit installed, I sell a lot of AC units, because one of my, and I'm going to ask you that when we get to the point, one of my things is that a good solar professional will always try to increase your energy consumption. Okay, decrease your energy consumption,
right? So
that I can sell you less panels, honestly, because I'm looking out for you. I want you to spend less. So a lot of times it depends on how old your AC is, because I know that if I put an AC unit in your house, I can reduce anywhere from 15 to 30% sometimes in your overall energy. So that's one of the questions. I also ask about the water heater, because the water heater is the second unit that consumes more energy in your house. So I'll be asking you those questions in a little bit.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So yeah, I mean, the benefits are low monthly payments, fixed energy payment. It'll always be the same, because you're not purchasing energy anymore. You're purchasing a product that's generating the energy.
Mm-hmm.
Your house value is going to go up. It's going to increase the value. It's definitely clean and guilt-free energy, and it reduces the carbon footprint. Okay.
Yep.
All right. So here's where I tell you, where we give you the 25% 25-year warranty on your workmanship. Okay, we'll definitely, once we approve it, then we'll go ahead and that'll be there if it's approved. All right. So what I'm going to do now, one of the things that I'm not sure if you could or not, but I like to see if I can go into your FP&L account and see what your consumption is. Will you be able to do that on your end?
We don't need to go that. We can just use it. Obviously, it's gonna go anywhere between, say, 180 and 240, depending on the time of year. And it's gonna be heat. So in the summer, it's gonna be higher. You can run it around the 240s. Once you get out of that, you can use maybe a range around 150, the lowest in January time frame.
Right. So you're saying that the lowest is how much?
Lowest would be, I think we were somewhere around the 140 range. I think is the lowest I recall over the past year.
And the highest?
Probably about 240 when the AC is running all the time.
Okay, so let's go ahead and 140 plus 50.
Oh yeah, 140.
Would you say that's your average?
That could be that's probably fair.
Okay. All right, so let me see how I can do this here. All right, so we said that it was 190.
Yeah, costs about 190 a month. And that's about 1580 kilowatts a month.
1580.
Your comfort zone is.
All right, so that's 1580 kilowatts.
Oh.
All right, so you see my screen, right?
Yes.
All right, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to, you see my calculator?
Yes.
All right, so 190 times 12 is
2280.
2280. Okay. 2280 every year.
Yep.
Right. So how long have you lived in the house?
I've been here since 2003, so 18 years.
So more or less, would you say? Are you
Yeah.
paying 41?
Fair.
More or less.
It's fair.
So now we're looking at 41. All right. Now let's come over here and let's do the same over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 1580 times 12 and see what your
Okay.
yearly consumption in kilowatts is. So we saw it's 18,960.
18960.
All right, so here we go. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply this. No, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take this yearly consumption and I'm going to divide it by the 365 days. How many days?
Okay.
Okay, so it's going to be divided by 365 and it gave me 51 kilowatts. 51.9. Okay, so let's say 52. Let's round it off to 52. Okay, so 52 kilowatts per day.
Okay.
KW per day. All right, so what we do is I take this daily average consumption and I'm going to divide it by the hours of the days that you're going to be producing energy. Now in the state of Florida, it's anywhere from 4 to 5 hours of actual production. Okay, there's a lot of cloudy days, rainy days. Okay, so when we look at the whole enchilada, we already know that anywhere from 4 to 5 hours. So I always like to do it down the middle. So I'm going to do 4.5. So 52 divided by 4.5 equals 11.5 kW. Okay, so you need an 11.5 kilowatt system in your house, which is great because your kilowatt 11.5 kilowatt system is under the FPNL will require you to have a $1 million liability insurance and a $400 application interconnection application fee if you are over a 11.6 kilowatt or more. Okay, like my last customer, he actually signed up. He's getting a 14 kilowatt system. So in his case, he has to pay the $400 application fee, and he has to call his insurance, and he has to up his liability insurance that is probably currently right now at $400,000. He's got to put it up to $1 million liability insurance.
Okay.
Okay.
Added costs.
I'm sorry.
Added costs.
Well, yeah, but you know how much it's going to cost him every year for that? $38 extra.
The savings should offset all that.
Yeah, but it's $38 annually extra to add that. Okay, so but in your case, you don't even have to worry about that. All right, so you need a 11.5 kilowatt system. Okay. Now let's do the math on how much it's gonna cost you here. So I'm gonna duplicate this. Now the 11.5 kilowatt system, let me get the calculator. All right, so 11.5 is 11,500 watts, okay, times 3.30, which is how much you get charged per watt, equals $37,950. Okay, that's how much your system is going to cost you. $37,950.
All right.
$37,950. All right. Now, this is what I was telling you that how old is your AC?
About 5 years old.
Okay.
It's
you know,
the high.
the 16 SEER?
It's huh?
The 16 SEER AC?
It's a Ring. I don't know what's here. It's a 2.5 ton, 2.5 ton unit.
Okay. Let me ask you something. What about your water heater?
That's electric, and that's about 4 years old, 4 or 5. Yeah, again, I replaced
Electric. Is it inside a garage or
inside that utility room? Yes.
inside the utility room? Okay.
Which is technically the garage. Yes.
Okay.
It's
So
covered in.
what I would do for you, okay, I would install. Do you have a timer in that water heater?
There's no timer. Nope.
Okay. I would recommend for you to, and we would do it for you at no charge, and we'll install a timer. Now, what a timer does is that I can definitely, if you look at the sticker, the yellow sticker, the energy guide, is going to tell you that water heater is consuming close to 5,000 kilowatts per year. Okay, it's what's going to, if you walk over there right now and you look at the energy sticker, it's going to tell you that you're probably consuming, depending on, the most normal ones are between close to, always are like 4,800 and something. If you have a smaller one, you're probably looking at maybe 3,000. Okay? But once you install a timer, okay, I can definitely deduct around maybe 2,000 kilowatts per year.
And what does that not? Does it not run it at night?
Yeah, because you know that water heater is running 24/7.
Yes. Yes. So usually when do people set it? That maybe midnight,
Yeah.
5 a.m. or something? Is that the window?
Yeah, there's definitely some hours where it's going to be off and not being a cost for you, and those hours add up to close to even half of what it says that is consuming. Even if sometimes, let's say, even if it's off, you can still have the hot water because it's stored in there. So it's not like you're gonna be like, especially if there's two people living there.
Yes.
It's not. You're never gonna see a difference. You can definitely do like half, and
Okay, that makes sense. The timer.
Yeah.
All right.
So if we do that, so I can deduct. We can go from 18,900 to probably, let's say 17,000.
Okay.
So let's go ahead and go to 17,000. Okay. Now let's go ahead and get the calculator again. 17,000 divided by 365 equals 46.5 divided by 4.5 equals 10.3 kilowatt system. So 10,300 times 3.30 equals 33,900. You see the difference?
Yeah, 34.
So yeah. So let's go ahead and 909. All right, so let's take this number and let me go ahead and share my screen over here. All right, so this is LoanPal, and LoanPal is one of our financing companies that we use.
Yep.
Let's put 33,990. Okay, and let's do a 20-year 2.99. This one. Okay.
Yep.
It's got to be on auto pay for them to give you that 2.99. All right, so let's calculate the payment. All right, so here it is. You will be paying $142 for the first 18 months. Now, why do they say for the first 18 months? Because they don't know what you're going to do with $8,837 that you're going to be eligible for of a tax credit, which is the 26%.
Got it. Okay,
so out of the 33,990, 26% of that is $8,837.
Okay.
So what they're saying is, okay, if you choose to keep that money, it's okay. You could. You're actually financing the whole amount. Therefore, your bill after 18 months is going to go to $194, which is not really that far away from what you're paying right now, which is $190 average.
No, I see the math. Yep.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
So if you keep your money, buy something else, or you can go ahead and, if you make that $8,000 payment to Loan Pal, you continue paying $142.
Got it.
You will stay at that rate. Plus, remember, you still have to pay to FPNL. You still have to pay FPNL for the meter, which is around $9.
So let's talk about the transfer of ownership when people leave their house. How does that work?
Yes. Loan Pal, if you sell your house, you can call Loan Pal and they will transfer it to the new owner.
Okay.
Yeah, they'll run their credit. I mean, obviously, if they're eligible to buy a house, they have to have a minimum of 650. I'm sure they, for the most part, always. I've never seen a case where they don't. The customer who's eligible to buy a house can also get the solar panels, and they will transfer it to the new name.
So it is
continue making that payment.
Okay, just wanted to make sure it was transferable.
Oh yeah.
That makes sense. All right. Well, you've given me a good understanding. I see that the system is different. There isn't some large battery storage included in the systems now. It's direct feed. It's with FPL. The whole thing sounds pretty good. Like I said in the beginning, I'm not ready to fill out an application. I'm still trying to figure out when I'm going to replace my roof, as it's an older home. That is something that's coming up pretty soon. But is this information that you could send me so I can keep this, so that I have this should I be ready to pull the trigger on something like this?
What information do you want? I mean, this right here is just a calculator that we use. I'm not sure if.
No, I mean all I don't need the loan payment stuff. I would just need the presentation and the estimated cost. The estimated cost. I could always write that down. The estimated cost, and that's real rough back envelope that we did. You're looking somewhere in $35,000 somewhere in there, and that includes a modification to the water heater. Yeah, I mean, I get it. But what I want to do is I want to be able to have your contact information down the road should I decide I want to move forward.
Okay. Yeah, no problem. Of course, you can have my information, and I can definitely put you. I can send you some information about. I can add you. I have a channel where I have that. For example, this one right here was a customer that I used. Recently went to his house. Okay.
Yes, and so you could see it even more that we were saving a lot. And for me, that's very important. It's not just the money, because still the system, you pay it over time, you know. Right. But I want to do and something for the future, for our world, in the sense of clean energy. Right. So I think it's definitely worth if you want to do something, and also eventually in the future.
So let's go back inside and let's see what happens.
Bar graph, and we're going to see the consumption for every month, how much he's been producing, and how much he's been saving. All right, so let's check it out. All right, Martin, so here we are, and we're looking at your energy dashboard, and we see that the last 12 months that you didn't have solar system, from March 2019 to January 2020. Okay, so this was your monthly average, which was $260, and your kilowatt consumption was 2,219.
That's right.
Now, let's go to the last 12 months with around 8 months of solar system installed, right?
Correct. We started the year out without the solar panels, and then in June, we started with the solar panels part of the month. So you see, June was almost as low as April, and after June, July and on, we are way lower than we used to be before, even though they were the highest month in consumption, obviously. And then in January this year and February, we are way below. We are actually overproducing energy. That's where we are in the black there. And the average consumption or usage is an average of $98 without taking in consideration the first 4 to 5 months that are actually higher. And the kilowattage is down to 933 from 2,200 something.
That's right. So that what that basically means is that it's definitely gonna, your average is gonna go even lower than the 98.
Even lower than this, yes,
yeah,
right.
Yeah. So, all right. So let's go look at over here your bill so that we can show. So this is your bill right here, and how much you're paying. Your new charges here, as you can see, is $9.41.
$9.41. Yeah. Here it says, where is it? Kilowatt hours used in February 2021, 0. In January 2021, 0.
Last year, look at last year.
Last year, 1,141. February 2020. And we had the usage per day, 0, the last 2 months, and 39 a year ago, which then makes the bills. A year ago it was $125, and now it's $9, which is like the basic pay to have a meter in
Yeah,
the
that's
house.
right. That's right. All right. So Martin, so looking at these numbers, I mean, it seems like you're pretty satisfied with the results.
I am definitely satisfied. I mean, I want to fulfill a full year to make sure and see more exactly what the result is, even though there's fluctuation from one month to another. But definitely, it's convincing, and that's the idea of showing you this. That if you're still in doubt, don't be, because this is the living proof that that's working perfectly.
All right, my friend. So I just wanted to show you a little bit that. If you want, I can send you this video so you can check it out on your own time.
Yeah, just so long as I have a point of contact, I got to figure out what I'm doing with my existing roof as it is. That is on my short list here, as it's saying the roof is approaching 25 years old. So once I have some direction on that, plus my wife and I are back and forth considering if we're going to stay in the house. So once we get through those obstacles, I definitely like your presentation. I like your product, and it's definitely something that I want to, that I'd like to contact you should I go in that direction.
Okay, that sounds good. I have your email, so I'll go ahead and send you all the information that I can, so that you can keep tabs with me, and you can go ahead and subscribe to the channel, so you can see all little different videos that I post, and keep you in the loop.
That's perfect. Thank you for your time. I appreciate the information.
You got it, my friend. Take care.
Yeah. Thanks.
All right. Bye-bye.